12 of the more than 2,000 mine workers who've embarked on an underground sit-in at the Impala Bafokeng Platinum mine in Rustenburg in Northwest have resurfaced because of medical conditions. Operations remain suspended for the second day of the protest by workers. Mine management and unions are currently locked in a meeting to try and resolve the impasse. Scores of concerned residents who live around the Impala Bafokeng Platinum mine in Rustenburg in the Northwest are picketing outside the mine in support of the striking mine workers. Over 2,000 miners embarked on an underground sit-in from yesterday, bringing operations at the mine to a complete halt. The mine workers are protesting over a number of issues, including employee share schemes and pension funds after the mine was bought by Impala Platinum. All right, the NUM Regional Secretary Geoffrey Moatshe joins us now for an update. Geoffrey, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, this is the latest in a spate of underground sit-ins at South Africans' mines that we are seeing. You have been in meetings with management. Can you just take us through what came out of that meeting?
Thank you for having us, and good afternoon to your viewers. We had a marathon of meeting which overlapped to this morning since yesterday. And basically by 9 p.m. yesterday, we had not had any formal kind of demands that would tell us as to why our workers sitting underground. But upon the declaration of a shift in terms of the law, that by 17:30 yesterday is then that we said now this is no longer speculation, it's pure sit-in by workers underground. Now, I must indicate that we are the sole union representative at this mining house, and therefore it is common cause that workers who staged a sit-in would then be members of the National Union of Mine Workers. Now, that got us worried that because we are the sole trade union, why would workers decide on taking things into their own hands and when there are established channels of communication? Now, we deployed a team of regional office bearers to underground the both affected shafts to get to the bottom of what is the bone of contention. Upon their return, they came back with carbon copy of a memoranda which was talking to each other across the two shafts. Now, we looked into that, and as a mandate-driven trade union, we took these issues to management. I must indicate, in your introduction of this discussion, you indicated that some of the demands was that workers wanted their pension fund payout. You will understand that just around August, September, Impala bought the majority shareholding at Royal Bafokeng. Now, I must put it on record that transaction was a Section 197 transaction, which says no condition of employment will change, and it's a going concern, and therefore we cannot occupy a public platform as a trade union and make reckless statement that promises to workers that they would get their pension payout when we know that is not true. Let me try to paint a picture that the same Royal Bafokeng, at one stage they were under Anglo Platinum. And when they left as a going concern, no worker conditions changed. No worker accessed their pension payout. If I draw you a further back, Johannesburg Investment Confederation was leaving, and Embarked came in 1996. Workers said they want their pension fund, which is not possible. They did not get it. Now, given the high level of debt that workers are subjected to, if you come up with a sort of quick solution in terms of money, it is obvious that workers are going to buy your story. And now, if this instance, we are of the view that the workers have been misled, that they're going to get their pension fund. And then, like I said earlier, we cannot occupy a public platform and lie to workers that they're going to get their pension fund when we know that the transaction was a 197 transaction.
Mr. Moatshe, let me come in there. Doesn't that then also paint a picture of the channels of communications between yourselves as a NUM and the workers is also problematic, as you've earlier pointed out, in terms of, the channels seem to be broken. I mean, workers have accused the NUM yourselves of not being visible enough. Our reporter was on the ground speaking to just some of the family members who are also just as disgruntled. I mean, how do you then react to that, the reason that there is this ambiguity and this vagueness around what workers are understanding about pension payouts could also be squarely put on your door in terms of the blame game?
I'll just straightforward respond that unfortunately that is cheap politicking. I'm saying the NUM is the sole and one trade union at that mining house. We've had a marathon of mass meetings explaining the transaction at Impala, and workers understood the processes that we were going through. And it can't be today that somebody tried to take platform and claim glory that the NUM is not visible. That is not true, and it is just pure cheap politicking. So I really wouldn't agree with that statement.
Cheap politicking from the workers themselves?
Yes, I'm saying to you, we are the sole trade union, and we have established channels of communication, which one of them is mass meetings. And we went through those mass meetings, explained the transaction between Implats and Royal Bafokeng, and workers were happy with those things.
And yet you've got about 2,200 mine workers on the ground having a sit-in. What is the way forward, Mr. Moatshe, in terms of the unions, the mine workers who are currently on the ground? Because we do understand that some of them are facing serious health issues already starting to show. 12 have been resurfaced, but there's still more than 2,000 still underground.
Yes, I can confirm to you that there's still more than 2,000 underground. At your north shaft, as at around 2 o'clock, it was just around 809 employees who were still stuck underground. And at your south shaft, it was 1,200 workers. I indicated to you that we had a meeting that overlapped to 6 a.m. this morning. And we went back, we gave workers the feedback from management, where management was saying, we are amenable to open negotiations in some of the issues that you raised. But key priority issue is to get workers underground, given the statement that you just said that some of the workers are on chronic medication. And I must say that we want workers to come out of underground, and we start continue with this negotiation. And unfortunately, when workers rejected the response from management, then management took a different stance as opposed to the olive branch that they had extended to us to say, let's continue, let's try to engage on these issues. Now, the attitude has changed from management that they are no longer going to engage with these workers on these issues because they had extended kindness to them, and therefore if workers say they're going to continue sitting underground, they're going to resolve the matter in their own way, which is worrying. Out of the over 2,000 workers who are still there, we've got women who are there around 21. Now we were saying, let's prioritize getting workers underground. And one thing that I must just mention, that I don't think that ringleaders in this thing would subject their own next of kin to the conditions that they are subjecting these workers to. So it's an issue that we must really try to work on and try to come up to a solution. You said there's been a spike of sit-ins underground, which now is becoming a trend, and it's worrying. And then we must dig deep and say what informs this modus operandi of workers deciding to sit in underground. Because a worker who works underground, the first thing that he wants when he's done his work is to get out of underground, because staying underground for extended periods is just not conducive for human habitat.
Mr. Moatshe, let's leave it there for now. It is indeed worrying, and we will keep tabs on developments there. Our reporters are also on the ground, but we will make contact with you in terms of those developments. Geoffrey Moatshe, the NUM Regional Secretary of the Northwest.